We are sitting here with the 43rd overall pick of the 2007 draft, an Olympic gold medalist, the cover of NHL 19, a two-time first-team NHL All-Star, the 2022 King Clancy Memorial Trophy Award winner, and the 2013 Norris Trophy winner. Welcome to the Empty Netters podcast, PK Subban.
Unbelievable. How's it feel?
Wow. Well, considering that we're in Fort Lauderdale, it's been approximately almost a year now that I haven't taken a body check. That's kind of nice.
Wow. That's great.
So body feels good, works great. I'm just living, man, enjoying life, relaxing.
Yeah.
I mean, probably would have thought that maybe the transition would have been more difficult. It hasn't really been hard at all. It's been a lot of fun, actually.
If I'm being honest, it looks like you're thriving. You got the fresh lineup. You're looking crisp.
Crazy lineup.
It's unbelievable stuff.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's always debatable on which players are great, good, had great careers. But one thing that's not is definitely the guys that are good looking. I would have to consider myself in that category of players that's come through the league that's decently good looking.
I don't think
would you agree with that?
100%. I don't think anyone's going to argue it.
There you go.
And you know what I think is really impressive is you maintain that. You didn't take any face shots, no nose jobs, nothing.
It's premeditated. I just don't wake up and look like this.
Yeah,
You know, it takes some effort and time. You got to eat well, take care of yourself. You know, you got to.
Dude, and that's what I'm saying is like you do that, you put in that work. So why not peacock it? You know what I mean? I just can't stand when people are like,
"Hey man, I'm just living. I'm enjoying. I'm living. I'm enjoying, man. Having fun."
That was one thing I wanted to ask though. How did the workout and diet regimen, was that hard to keep up when you weren't playing anymore, or was that easy?
Well, I was always a bigger, thicker kid.
Yeah.
You know, I was always one of those kids that was just always a little bit bigger than everybody else, and but I was always active. You know, so when I was like 15, I'll never forget this. My first training camp in the OHL was like 213 pounds. You know,
15?
At 15.
Let's go.
Right?
Really?
Yeah. At 15, I was like 215 pounds. And I'll never forget that this was coming into training camp. And George Burnett was like, listen, you know, you can flat out fly out there. Like, imagine what you could do at 200. Like, forget 200 at 180. Like, what you could do. But my body type was always naturally bigger. You know, I got big legs, big heavy legs. My mom ran track. She's got big legs. My dad's a bigger man. So my makeup, I wasn't genetically made for hockey.
Yeah.
You know, like I see some guys can play season after season and like, you know, after the game, I do so much maintenance. I stretch for like a half hour on my own. I have my therapist stretch me. Then I get a full body flush. Then I go into the cold tub, and then I'm in the hot tub, and then I'm in the cold tub, then I'm in the hot tub, and then I'm done.
Yeah, right.
You know, after the game, most guys just like they go jump in the shower, like they foam roll for 5 minutes, and they're good to go for practice tomorrow. So my body always needed a lot of maintenance to stay on the ice, and you know that's part of the reason why I went through my career. You know, I know in Nashville, probably those 3 years were the only years in my career where I was banged up. And a lot of that had to do with the travel. The Central Division has the worst travel. It's the worst travel in the NHL. And, you know, my hips, I never had a back issue. It was my hips. My hips would always get tight from sitting on the plane. And that was just my makeup. There was nothing I could do to change that. You know, if I'm on a plane, there's some guys, they can sit on a plane all day. They get off, they do a stretch, they'll never hurt themselves. Me, you know, when I sit on a plane for 3 hours or 4 hours and then we're traveling here and then I'm sleeping in a bed that I don't normally sleep in, you know, it would always throw my hips off. So I struggled with that, getting into a routine with Nashville. But when I was on the ice, everything worked out great. And then went to New Jersey, playing on the East Coast. The best travel in the league is the Metropolitan Division. I mean, you could go 3 months and sleep in your own bed every night, you know, and my therapists were close, could come in. I never missed a game due to injury in those 3 years in New Jersey.
That's interesting. How old were you when you first noticed the hips?
Well, I was born with a twisted femur and a shortened leg on the right side. My brother Jordan has it. My mom has it. So I was born this way, you know, right when I came out of the womb. That's how my hip was. So my right hip would always get tighter. Yeah. And but at 18, I started doing acupuncture therapy, and the guy who introduced that to me was Mike Camilleri. So when I got called up to play for the Canadians, I was 20 at the time. Mike, I remember we're sitting around eating pregame lunch, and he's like, "Dude, like, are you getting treatment? Like, are you taking care of your body? And I'm like, yeah, like, I want to. Like, I get massage. And he's like, dude, you got to talk to Mike Prebeg, who's my acupuncture guy. And I'm like, okay, Cammy, whatever.
Did that scare you at all? Because acupuncture, I'm like, dude, not stab me with needles.
Listen, I'll take a page out of like Kobe's book, or out of any successful professional athlete. The word scared is like the fear comes out of your mind when you think of success.
Yeah.
We're talking about like making a sacrifice. Like the pain is temporary, right? And because I have such dense muscle tissue and I had that hip, that twisted femur, the only thing that can treat that in 10 seconds is an 8 or 12 centimeter needle that goes through the thick tissue that you have right into the bone, and he uses stim on it.
Yep.
So, people that follow me on Instagram when I was playing, you could see that. You could see that, I would always post videos of doing it so that people could see what goes into actually being a pro athlete. It's not just stepping on the ice.
Yeah,
for some of us, it's maintenance 24/7. And towards the end of my career, the maintenance, it became 24/7. There was no days off. When the season's over, you got to maintain what you have, because as time goes on, your body just doesn't bounce back the way it usually does. So you got to maintain and keep it at that level, which takes a lot of discipline.
For sure.
So it was tough.
We're jumping the gun a little bit here, but you just addressed it. How much of that went into your decision to hang him up and move on to the next step in your life and your career? Because I feel like, you are one of the greatest examples of, I feel like in the beginning of your career, every next step, you immediately excelled. It was like truly remarkable to watch. It's like you were in the OHL, you're an all-star. You get to the AHL for 1 year, you're an all-star. You get a point in your first NHL game, first playoff game, and you're just continuing to excel. So when you hung him up, a lot of us, myself, a defenseman, we're so bummed because you're one of the most electric players any of us had ever seen for such a long stretch. So how much of that maintenance was like, you were just like, you know what? I'm tired of this.
I think it's your internal drive. You can be taught a lot of things. You can be taught skills. You can be taught business. You can be taught sports. You can be taught a lot of things. But one thing you can't teach is that internal drive to just want to be successful. And I think I took a lot of, not me specifically, because it never affected me. That's why I did things the way that I wanted to do them. But definitely there was always people that were critical of that, critical of you wanting to do things your way.
Of course.
And it's not about doing it my way. It's just doing it the way that I feel is going to best put me in a position to be happy. Because happiness isn't always just success. It's how you are successful. It's how you are successful, because that gives you fulfillment. For instance, like I was never interested in like hopping from team to team to try to win a championship. Like I like being on a team and making it work and making the best of a situation. And, that's something I had to do in New Jersey in my first time in my career, knowing that we probably weren't going to win a Stanley Cup. But I had to have that internal drive to want to make my teammates better and be a part of the process of getting this team to getting to a point where they can contend for a Stanley Cup. And I played a major or minor part in that, where the team is now. But that's my mindset, was always to have that drive to want to be successful. And I think it wasn't always accepted. I think it's easier now when you transition and people see you doing things and having success.
Yeah.
It's easy for people to be like, oh yeah, he did that, but it wasn't easy. Like I took my marketing, I started my own marketing company at 23.
That's awesome. Right?
To do my own marketing. I did my own deals with, Pepsi, with Gatorade, Scotiabank, Sports Check. I did all those deals with myself and a lawyer for 2 years. And I made more money, I think, in those years marketing than any other year that I had anybody else managing it. But, what I realized was that I needed to have my energy and time more towards hockey. When you look at those years, those were some good years in my career. It wasn't like I was distracted or anything.
Yeah.
Because having those other interests gave me balance. So back to your original point of like, it's that internal drive.
Yeah.
I just wanted to always have balance in my life. And I never wanted to take less in anything that I was doing. So whether it would be playing the game, whether it was training, whether it was being dedicated to my craft and being disciplined with my eating, sleeping, all of that stuff, I always wanted the best out of myself and I never wanted to take less. Why would you take less? When would you ever take less in life, right? So that was my drive, and that's what pushed me to want to be successful in everything that I'm doing.
And I think it's so smart because you see too many athletes not register when I've lost that drive, and they just can't accept that. So I think it's really smart to get to a place where you're like, I don't have that anymore, and let's move on to the next chapter. That's amazing.
Yeah, and I think for me, retiring was more about, I established my independence a lot earlier on in my career, and not everybody has the privilege to do that, especially in an era where now there's a cap that we're working with, and you come out of junior hockey and you're on your entry level deal, and then they gap deal you, and you got to go through like 5 or 6 years before usually you get a shot at being a free agent or getting a long-term contract.
One big one,
your one contract. And I was lucky enough to get that at 22 or 23 years old. And when that happened for me, it was really, there were 2 things that were important to me: playing hockey and being happy.
Yeah.
That was it. Awesome. There was nothing else. And, that's what I earned at 23, was the right to just focus on hockey and be happy. But the difference is that everybody has different things that make them happy. For some guys it's playing golf. For some guys it's going fishing. For some guys it's video games. For me, it was building my business and building a marketing company and developing long-term partnerships and relationships, learning my craft. I think that is something that I would want to pass on to the next generation, is that whatever you're doing, whether you're playing hockey or you're doing what you guys are doing, hone your craft.
Yeah.
Learn your craft, because you can't get the most out of anything unless you fully understand what business you're in. And I've taken the time to understand the game of hockey and how I can have the best impact on the sport that's given me so much.
Absolutely. And it's funny, like you said, people have so many different interests. I feel like some guys bounce out of the league, they play hockey, they move down to Nashville or something, join a country club, whatever. You're now on the ESPN panel doing so much awesome stuff with that. Was that something you always knew you wanted to do, or how did that come about, fall into your lap, and how's it going? Are you enjoying doing all that stuff with ESPN?
I'm a moment by moment guy. Yeah. I live my life moment by moment. I always have confidence that my life is going to take me where it's supposed to take me. And the only thing I focus on is how I treat everybody along the way, and, you meet so many people. I have the privilege and really humbly, I get to meet some great people in my line of work. You think about it, yesterday I'm at a game, I'm in a box with Charles Barkley and Flo Rida, and you're meeting all of these, the commissioner, hosting me at games, and, not any commissioner, the longest tenured commissioner in pro sports, 30 years, is somebody who I look to as a mentor that can help guide me in the world of business and sports, and has seen me also grow up. I got to know, excuse me, his family and his nephew, and it's just, my life has allowed me to meet some really, really cool people. And those relationships have brought me more than anything else that I could have planned to do, or, any goals that I could have set. So I think that when you treat people well and people love being around you, opportunities are always going to be there. So with ESPN, after I retired, I took 4 months off and didn't talk to anybody, didn't do any media, didn't even give it. I posted about my retirement to give the respect to my fans and the players and the organizations that helped me, but I didn't do any media because it's not about me. That's my decision. Yeah. Like I've always lived my life that way, and I've always been that way. And I didn't know that ESPN would offer me a 3-year deal and want me to step into their broadcast, but they showed a tremendous amount of confidence in me, putting me on the big desk right away with Chelios and Messier and Levy. And what better opportunity do you want in the world of sports, specifically hockey, to be sitting on a desk with those individuals, but to be at ESPN, which to me, is such a massive platform and has such an influence, to go in there right away with, I was a rookie this year, but I've had some experience working on TV.
Sure.
I've done Sportsnet before did stuff for ESPN and a bunch of stuff in front of the camera. So it was really exciting to start that there. And I think the timing was right. I was able to step in January, do 40, 50 days. And, I don't know. I'm trying to create an environment and add to an environment that allows people to be excited to not just see the game from the first minute of the period to the 20-minute mark. Look forward to the next 20, when the game is being discussed, and hopefully tune in and learn something.
Dude, that is such a huge point. It's like you see it with Chuck, right? With NBA and TNT. They have so much fun in those 20 minutes but at halftime. So the fact that you're trying to bring that to the hockey game is so awesome, because it is like there's an opportunity to have that moment to just get some analysis on the game, laugh about it and shit like that. It makes it so much better. So it's huge that you're bringing that to it.
Yeah, and it's got to be done organically.
Yes.
Like, I hate, how people try to, if people think that things need to be forced.
Yeah.
I've never forced anything in my life other than maybe on the ice, trying to force a play or make a play happen. And you learn your lessons. Nothing good happens out of forcing anything. So it's got to be organic. And I think when it's organic, you resonate with more people. So, I'm a guy that loves to have fun and is a fun-loving guy when it's time to have fun and be a fun-loving guy.
Yeah.
I'm also a guy that wants to do the job right. I'm there to talk about the game and break it down and give fans a recent and current view of the game, because I'm so recently removed from the game. So that's my job, is to make sure that fans that are watching, I can take them into the locker room, into the rink, into the press box, and give them the best view of our game. And hopefully they can take that and want to continue to watch.
Fucking amazing.
Should be fine.
Dude, you talked about retirement. That 4 months. What'd you do in that 4 months? Did you travel? Did you go crazy? What happened there?
Well, I didn't want to look at a gym.
Oh,
So,
I
I work
relate
out.
to that.
I work out.
Yeah.
I work out like 6 days a week.
Yeah.
My days now, I wake up in the morning. As of like December 26th, I wake up in the morning, I lift with my trainer, Jack, and then I either go on a 4-mile run or I box, and then directly after that I get a massage. I start every day like that. I don't do a thing until I do those 3 things, and then I start my day.
You did that the day after Christmas.
Yep, because I had spent like 4 months literally drinking tequila, eating whatever I wanted, going wherever I wanted, no curfew, no nothing, no responsibility. The first time in my life since I think I was like 2.5 and I stepped on skates.
Yeah.
2, I started skating, but like I've never ever in my life have had complete freedom.
Yeah. Yeah.
To not have anybody tell me that I had to be here, be there. So I just took like 3.5 months. We hung out. I was with friends and spent the time. But it's funny because I had to like force myself to do that.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel right. After a week, I'm like, man, do I really have to drink more tequila today? And I'm like, yes, you do.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
It's a
Do I have to
requirement.
are we going to eat pizza? Yes, you're eating pizza tonight. No salad, you're eating pizza. And it's like, and then I see like my stomach like get a little bit bigger, and then my legs like, they get a little bit bigger. And then all of a sudden my butt's getting bigger than, any of the beautiful women that I'm talking to. I'm like, I can't have a bigger butt. Like, you kidding me?
You're not fitting in the suits anymore.
Yeah, and then I'm like, whoa, hold on a second. My pants are getting a little snug here.
Yeah.
So, I'm like, whoa. And you know me, I'm a style fashion guy.
Trust
And my
me.
clothes, I'm like, no. This ain't happening.
Yeah.
I didn't work all this time and buy all these clothes to not be able to fit in them for the rest of my life. So I'm like, no. So but I needed to take that mental break from the gym because I'm a 1-speed guy.
Yeah.
Like, the majority of my career, I'm doing 2-a-day lifts, skating and sprint. Like, there was never a lack of training and commitment on my side. So I needed to take that mental break to be able to go into the gym and enjoy working out again. And now I love it. I mean,
you're back. You're all the way back. Yeah.
Yeah. Yesterday I ran again for an hour on the treadmill, worked out, and then we went for like an hour walk. I went swimming. Like I'm active all the time now.
Awesome.
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
that.
I
And
love
you go
it.
just as hard, eh? Like back in the gym?
Yes. Well, that's the luxury of retiring at a certain point in your career.
Yeah, right.
I had the luxury to be able to do that. Now, not everybody has that luxury. For me, I prided myself in my career. What gave me the confidence to feel good about my game is I always prided myself on the postseason.
Yep.
It was never about the regular season. I had some great years in the regular season, and you win an award here. They're so subjective. It's subjective to who picks and who votes,
sure.
and who thinks that somebody should win it that year, and that's fine. That's the game. So I never really evaluated my play on that. It was always on the postseason. And did I give myself and my team a chance to win? And that's what gave me the confidence to feel good about walking away from the game, because I knew that when my team needed me to step up and do that, I did my part and I gave everything I had, and that's all you can ask. The Stanley Cup there's only a few names on the Stanley Cup. And I use the word few because with the amount of guys that have played in the league, there's only a few names on that cup.
For damn sure.
And, listen, maybe I still will win one. It might be another way. It may not be as a player, and I'm okay with that. I think my peers know I have the respect of my peers in the game, and I also respected the guys that I played with and the guys that are still playing now that I played against. It's a difficult thing to do. Could I have played a few more years? I'm sure I could have, but I'm happy and I'm in a good place.
Yeah. Question on the postseason that you just brought up. How much... talk to me about, I feel like guys have unbelievable regular seasons. Then they get into the postseason and they completely shut down. We see it all the time. It's got to be a mental thing to a standpoint, but you said you prided yourself on the postseason, and that's true. You got called into the league, and then you were 6th on the team in points. Your rookie season, your first ever playoffs. You've led teams in points as a defenseman in the playoffs. So you did always show up. What is that mental shift when you get to the postseason that's like, all right, it's a different season now. It's a totally different game. And how do you just keep performing? Because some guys can't do it.
Well, in team sports, the first and foremost is that you always want to be able to look your teammates in the eye and be accountable. So I always wanted my teammates to know that they could rely on me. Everything changed when you get paid.
Yeah, sure.
Nobody wants to talk about it.
Yeah, man. Great
when you
call.
get paid and you get paid a lot of money and you're one of the highest paid guys in the league, forget the expectations of your teammates and the coaching staff and the organization and fans. Like, your expectation, not pressure, your expectation for greatness needs to go up as well. And, like I said, when would you ever take less?
Yep.
Why would you ever take less? I never wanted to take less. And I was never willing to take less from my teammates either. So that meant I had to make sure that less was always more. If I was going to give less it had to be more for our team. And that was my mindset. It was never about scoring goals or putting up points. My job was to make a difference.
Yep.
And, it was so cool to be able to watch The Last Dance these past couple of years. Yeah. And I know this is after my playing career, kind of. I played 1 more year or 2 more years after it came out. But I remember when BJ Armstrong had said that Michael Jordan got to a point where, he wasn't like everybody else was playing the game. He was like orchestrating it. Like, he knew when he had to turn it on. He knew. I'm not Michael Jordan, but it's the concept of the way he saw the game and the way he thought the game and how he developed with his game was understanding how to make his teammates better with his greatness.
Yep.
So part of that sometimes isn't always taking the puck and going end to end and, having a highlight reel play. It just so happens that when I made the impact in those games, they were like at those pressure moments. Mm-hmm. But why? Well, because I grew up, in a family where my dad played basketball.
Yeah.
My sister played basketball. My other sister played basketball. My sister's husband played basketball. And they were Kobe fans.
Sure.
So I first learned about Kobe Bryant at a very young age. Kobe is somebody I idolize. He's my guy. Mm-hmm. So what would Kobe do? Kobe shows up in the pressure moments. Jordan shows up in the pressure moments. So for me, it was never about nerves or anything like that. I had to prove that if I wanted to be considered a great player, I had to have great moments.
Yep. You gotta want the puck.
I had to have great moments. And sometimes that was sharing it with my teammates. Sometimes that was creating it. But that drove me.
Yeah.
That was my drive all season. Wasn't about, just having a good season. I had to do that because that's my responsibility. That's my job. But, you know what? When you pay somebody a certain amount of money, you don't know what moments they're going to create.
Totally.
You hope for that. So it's that inner drive once again. And, when I watch the Stanley Cup playoffs, I get that feeling again.
I bet.
Just to have one shift.
Yeah.
I don't want to play in a game. Just one shift to go out there and mess some people up.
Dude, great segue into this series. You were obviously at the game last night. Clearly, I feel like sometimes guys will retire and they need a break from the game. You still enjoy watching it, I imagine.
Love watching hockey.
Yeah.
Love watching it now because, I didn't know how it was going to feel.
Fair.
I didn't know how it was going
right.
to feel. You don't know how it's going to feel sitting and talking about the game.
Dude, it's like watching an ex you let walk away go and still do her thing. It's like that's
I love it.
Crazy.
I love it. I love it because I get to do it my way as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm one of those guys that doesn't like to be controlled. I like to earn people's trust that I'm going to do things the right way, but I'm always going to be myself. And I don't want to be someone I'm not. And I'm very lucky that I'm fortunate to be able to do a job where I can be myself. And that's what makes it fun.
For sure.
If you got to be someone you're not, it's not worth it.
Yep.
For sure. No way.
You got to do it your way.
How are you feeling about this series?
Well, listen, we got a new series now.
Hell yeah.
But it's up to Florida to show us that it is a new series. And I think the next game is the most important one for me. Them going down 3-1. I mean, they've been in 3-1 position before and come back.
Yeah.
More than game 3?
Well, no. This past game was the biggest game.
Right.
They go down
That was it.
3-0.
It's over.
It's over. But, I knew they were going to win this game, and they still didn't play well.
I agree. I said the
They
same
didn't
thing,
play well at all. Like, I'm
Shots
sitting
were
here,
so low.
and it's, you know what it is? Thank God, Bennett made such a great play at the blue line to cut across and find Verhaeghe streaking. And Bennett had some turnovers in the game. That was probably one of his worst games I've seen him play all playoffs. And I hate to use the word worst because it's so dramatic and everyone's like, oh, he didn't play that bad. But accustomed to what we've seen him play.
Yep.
And this is a great point. And this is why I love Florida and their team. There's no quit on their team.
Yeah, dude.
And as much as things weren't going his way, it was more like he wasn't getting the bounces. He sticks to it and still makes a high skill play just inside the blue line. Like that puck gets turned over. It could be an odd man rush the next way, but he keeps his confidence. And you got to give Paul Maurice credit for giving these guys the confidence to go out there and make plays. And it changed everything for their team. So, I think they're going to be playing a little bit looser. I think now Vegas has got some pressure on them because you're going back home 2-2.
Yeah.
If there's a team that can steal one on the road, it's them. But Vegas is playing amazing hockey.
Yeah.
They got everybody going right now. The question is, Aiden Hill's going to be tested again.
Yep.
Will he answer the bell? That's the question now because Bobrovsky now
He's awake.
Oh, no. He's rolling now.
Yeah. Agreed.
He's rolling now. We got a series because he's rolling. And that's the thing is the question is Bobrovsky going to be able to get back to where he was having such a long layoff? Yeah. And, I said that it wasn't going to be an issue, but I knew deep down inside, I was praying. I'm like, I want to see the best of the Florida Panthers in this finals.
Dude.
And I hope that I still don't think we've seen it yet. So, pack a lunch.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So Aiden Hill has been playing so great, right? Kind of got him here. And Bobrovsky obviously has been incredible since he went in. You played a ton of playoff games with Carey Price and Pecorino, these Hall of Fame goalies. Yep. What does it feel like, especially as a defenseman, but any out player, when you have a goalie, what kind of confidence does it give you when you're like, my goalie is on one right now?
Well, it gives you the confidence to make the plays like Sam Bennett made at the blue line because you know that if you go the other way, like Bobrovsky made 4 or 5 saves late in the third and in overtime that were point blank, grade A
glove,
scoring chances. And it's a problem because if he continues to play that way, Vegas has got some skill guys on that team, but look at the skill that Bobrovsky has seen in the first couple rounds.
Yeah,
so
man.
if it's Bobrovsky, and guess what? Aaron Ekblad hasn't been as sharp.
Right.
He's been up and down. But these guys this is the first time for some of these guys. So they're getting their legs under them again. Now they're getting that edge back into their game that they played with in round 1, 2, and 3. So I think for Florida, they're on the up and up.
Yep.
They should be feeling good today. They're going to go into the next game. Their legs are going to feel a little bit lighter. Sticks are going to be a little bit lighter. They're going to be playing with pace. That's what I need to see. They got to come out and dictate the play and take it to Vegas, but play smart. Stay out of the penalty box. You can't give them,
I think we'll get it too because like you said, it's twofold. When Bob starts playing this well, it gives the Panthers confidence, like you said, and they're like, okay, Bob's locked in, let's get it going. But it also gets in the head of the Vegas players. When Bob's making those saves, those point blank saves, I feel like they're like, shit,
Trying to pick too many corners,
try something different. Start gripping the stick too tight.
Well,
changes the game.
In 2013, when I was up for the Norris Trophy and I won it, and they did it in Chicago, Bobrovsky won the Vezina.
Yeah, that's right.
Put that in perspective, how long that guy's been a top goaltender in the league.
10 fucking years.
Right? So, that's 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So for the past 10 years, everybody's like, oh, Bobrovsky's not playing well. You know how hard it is to be a goalie in this league?
God,
and be at that level for 10 years?
Insane.
Come on. So I'm rolling with Bobrovsky. I said Panthers in 6. It may not happen in 6. Maybe it'll take 7. But I'm still sticking with the Panthers. I think if they get this win tomorrow, there's going to be a tremendous amount of energy in that building.
Huge shift.
By the way, I went to the Miami Heat game 3. I went Wednesday.
Better energy in Florida?
Oh, no. Let me tell you, it's nothing compared to the Panthers.
Let's go.
Not even close. And hold on. I got a ton of love for Jimmy Butler. Love him as a player. Love what the Heat have done. I love their run. Jokic is a problem. We're not even going to get into that because he's an issue for everybody right now. But the energy in the building yesterday was outstanding. I can't imagine what it's going to be like. I'm going to get down there early so I want to get the full feeling of the whole atmosphere. This is cool because remember, I never get a chance to see all this stuff.
From this side.
This is the first time I get to walk around and witness the Stanley Cup final and see where the game's at. I was very, very happy yesterday. I'm like, look at where our game is right now.
Yeah.
Like, we have everybody from the PGA Tour in boxes. We have Charles Barkley in this box. We have every person in Florida. Like, we had tons of celebrities at the game.
Yeah, man.
Like, it was so great for the league and for the game yesterday. And now I'm done with saying that it's great for the league and it's great for the growth of the game. The game is growing.
Yep.
Yes.
And the NHL's here.
Yeah.
And people love the game and people love watching hockey. And it's only going to grow. The sky's the limit for the NHL, but what a final it's been so far.
Oh my
Truly.
God! Well, when you had your cup run on the Preds, you guys lost the first 2 games on the road, came back and got the job done and evened that shit up. So is that like? Can you relate to how the Panthers are feeling right now going into this? Like, what was that like when you went through it?
Well, you can't win 2 unless you get the first one.
Hell yeah!
You got to get the first one. So they get the first one now, and now you got to go to work because you got to really check it.
Yep.
It's a ball check now because you haven't played your best game yet. So what's stopping you from doing that? Manage the puck. Florida's got to use their defense. They're driving. You got the trees back there. You're driving right into these trees, and they're not. It's not Chris Pronger and these guys back there, so they're not crazy. But they got to play with their speed. They got to play and make quick plays. Florida offensively, when I watched them play against Boston and Toronto, I watched those 2 series, and their ability to make quick plays in small areas
changed everything.
It was insane to watch. They have to do that. And I think that right now what they're trying to do is they're trying to physically impose their will like they have against those other teams. I don't even think they need to do that. Play that smart game. You can do that when the time is right. But expose these guys.
Yes, dude.
Expose the D. Get in there, cycle on them, turn up, find the D. In the third period, they find the D, and look what happened. Scoring chances galore on both the goals. It starts with a D point shot. It starts with using their D, and they have mobile defense. Vegas can't use their defense. Vegas wants to, but I think Florida's got more mobility on the defense.
Definitely.
Montour and Ekblad. Ekblad's going to be the guy to watch because his game's got to get better. And I'm telling you, he's going to jump down the wall once, and all they need him to do is make one play. And that could be the difference in a game. And he has the ability to do it.
He totally does.
So,
you're right.
So that's what you got to watch is Florida's D. I think we're going to see them get active. If they don't get more active in Game 4, it's going to be tough for them. Because those guys, the D are they're big trees. They eat up space. They kill the clock. They just kill the clock.
Dude, you talk about the NHL being here, and I feel like the NHL getting more fun is a huge part of that. You were a big Selly guy in your career, which I
massive Selly guy.
love
Still am.
About you.
Still am. I just got to be careful when I Selly so I don't look like a D-bag.
That's such a good point.
You know what I mean?
How did you feel about Chucky's bussin' 10 Selly, just getting off the ice against Carolina?
Love everything about Matthew Tkachuk.
Me too.
I thought that was the coolest Selly of all time.
Love everything about Matthew Tkachuk, but more importantly, I love that he embraces everything. But people are like, "Oh, Matthew wants the attention." Guys, first of all, you got to be great
Yeah.
to get the attention that he's
Preach, dude.
getting.
Yep.
First of all, let's forget about whether he wants it or not. You got to be great to be even spoken about
Yep.
the way he's being spoken about. So what I love about him is he's embracing it because he wants to be great. There's a difference between embracing attention because you love the attention or embracing the attention because you want to win and you want to be great. And everything that he does is about wanting to be great and wanting to win. And that's what the game is about.
Yep.
That's what you want out of players, and especially your star players. He's going to show up to play every single night. And in a game last night where he gets hammered, he gets hit in the middle of the ice.
Yeah.
We're not sure if he's coming back, comes back. They gave him the game winner initially and then said behavior,
Yeah.
but he's always in on it.
Yep.
The tying goal, he's
Yeah,
always
insane,
in on
dude.
it. The first
Always.
goal, he's always in on it. So, he's definitely the straw that stirs the drink for Florida, but we need a star player like this in the league.
Yes.
We've seen a lot of change with skilled players coming in and different styles of play. We need star players to be recognized with that style as well. It's a different style. He's got tremendous amount of skill, but he has the grit and the toughness to go with it. And that should be valued just as much as the skill.
100%.
Yeah.
You brought up the cup run with the Preds. You also just brought up the Cats beating the Bruins.
Yep.
Something that I'm super curious about, because you can speak to it. You guys go to the Cup with the Preds. Next year, you win the President's Trophy. And in that season, you guys lost in the second round. Obviously, the Bruins break the regular season record and then fall to the Cats in the first round. Is there anything about the President's Trophy that gets in your head in the playoffs? Or is it just, I think there's a huge element of these teams get in the playoffs and they're all fucking good. And it's just like, you can lose to anyone. How much does the President's Trophy actually play a part? Is that in your mind when you're in the locker room?
Well, I mean, Boston ran into a hot goalie.
Yeah.
Yes.
They ran into a hot goalie.
Yep.
Boston didn't play a bad series. It wasn't like they were horrible. And now when you look at Florida and the type of team that they are, those guys, they just played the wrong team at the wrong time.
Yep.
If Marchand scores on that breakaway too,
Dude,
series
Can you
over.
believe that, man?
So,
oh my God.
so that's the game. That's hockey, and that's what makes the game great. That's why fans have to pay the price of admission to show up and watch your team, because there's so much parity in the league. Anybody can win.
Yep.
That's what's going to make the NHL the best league in the world, is that there's going to be 30 plus teams and every single team has a chance to win. Which professional sports team can actually say that they have that? The NHL has that. So you pay the price of admission to get in. And, listen, we would love to see the big market teams in this final, but we're going to have a team hoist the Stanley Cup that's never done it
First
before.
timer, dude. I'm so for that.
And what's greater for the game than that? I can tell you this. I'd love to see Florida win it. I'd love to see them do it. I've picked them to win it. But to see Vegas win the Cup, to be the first professional sports team in Las Vegas and to have a championship team there before the NFL does, Major League Baseball or any of the other teams is a huge win, would be a huge win for the NHL. So, I think the NHL is in a great spot.
Yeah.
I love where the game's at. I think this is going to be a tremendous Stanley Cup final, whichever team wins. And it's going to go back and forth. But it was great that Florida got that win. It's just
awesome.
great for the game.
Great for the game. Totally agree.
Yeah.
As Bruins fans, it was tough, but it's great for the game.
Yeah,
and
true.
speaking of Bruins playoff devastation, I have to ask you this. 2014, you guys knocked the Bruins out in the second round. First place Bruins. You scored a ton of goals that series, actually.
Yeah.
Which goal was more fun for you? The double OT winner in game 1 or game 3 coming out of the box, catching that pass breakaway beat Tuca?
I would. Wow. I'll explain them. I'll explain them both quickly. The double overtime one was great, obviously, to get the first win.
Hell yeah.
But my drive to want to score that goal was on the tying goal. I was on the ice for that when Boston scored. Johnny Boychuk had shot a point shot from the point. He's got a bomb.
Oh, my God.
And I had tried to block it, and I screened Carey Price. That's why he didn't see it.
Yeah.
So I turned around, and Price is looking at me like, dude, get the fuck out of the way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, shit. Come back to the bench. And, I'm having a game.
Yeah, you were.
I'm having a
you
game.
were.
You were reeling.
I'm having a game, but at this point, I'm like, okay, that's okay, but for me in that moment, it was on me because I'm like, if you're going to block a shot, you got to block the shot.
Yeah.
But it didn't happen. Sometimes you have the right intentions. It just doesn't happen. So when I went out there in overtime and Bartowski, I think it was Bartowski, took the penalty, I literally didn't even ask my coach. I went, grabbed my stick, and then went and lined up. Like, I knew that if I get this puck on my stick, I'm putting it in the back of the net. So scoring that goal was great because we should have won the game. We were in a position to win, and I had to get that back for the guys, and I was able to do that. So that felt good. The one out of the penalty box, though, I was pissed because I hit Riley Smith, and I hit him clean. Dude, like, my forearm hit him in the chest. It wasn't an elbow. I didn't hit him in the head. And I was pissed because I'm like, I'm not giving these guys extra power play opportunities. And I said, listen, these guys take their liberties. I'm not taking liberties, but I'm going to be physical in this series. All series long, I'm going to be physical. So I was pissed. So when I came out of the box, dude, I was so angry. I didn't even think about my move. I went in and literally dropped my shoulder. I said, you're going to eat this shoulder. I just dropped my shoulder on him, and he bit, and then I just tucked it in.
Dude.
So, you know, the penalty box one was great, but all of those moments were just high emotional moments where, you know, and that's always what brings the best out of me.
You talked about elevating in the postseason, right?
It's the way I'm wired. Like, you know, if you put it on me, you're going to get what you're asking for, you know? So
that's the loudest the Bell Center has ever been. Dude, that was fucking so insane.
Intense,
yeah. They knew how to get me going there.
Oh my God.
Sure.
They knew how to get me going.
You always answer the bell too.
Well, it's so easy to play for a fan base. All they ask is for you to be great. Like, you know, and they cheer for it. Like, they cheer for it. Their energy is for it. So, you know, like I said, when I went back, you know, when Montreal hosted me at the night, I said to the players that, you know, everybody thinks that I have like this special bond, which, you know, I do have a special bond with the fans there, but it's not just about me. I just recognized what the fans were all about. It's blue collar fans that know the game, that are passionate about it. So your effort has to reflect that.
Absolutely.
That's how you become a player that the fans want to cheer for there, specifically there. You know, and they'll never let you go. They'll always have your back.
So true, dude.
If you work, that was the best part about coming to work every day, is I knew that they were going to push me and get the best out of me. And they knew I was going to give it. They didn't care whether I made a ton of mistakes in Montreal. But no one talks about them. Because, you know,
the effort was there.
Yeah, because the effort was there. I showed up to work. I never took a shift off. You know, just went there and competed and loved to play and put on that jersey. It was
Speaking
great.
of blue collar fans, you talked about being a small part in Jersey's rise right now. Are you at all surprised about how well they did this year? And more specifically, are you at all surprised at how good Jack Hughes has become?
No. No.
You could see it.
No and no. I'll talk about Jack, because with teams, anything can happen. Oh, is that room service?
It might be. I think we got to get that.
Check that. It could be the cleaning. Could be cleaning.
Hello. This is his room. Let me see. Hold on 1 second. Hey, did you need anything? It's just they're wondering how your stay's going.
Great, but just ask them if they can have someone come up and clean the room.
Everything's going great, but if someone could come up and clean the room this afternoon, that would be awesome. You're going to the beach after this, right?
Yes.
In like an hour? He'll be long gone? Yeah, okay, great. Thank you so much. All right, bye.
That's got to be one of the great podcast moments of all time.
That's service.
Well, okay, so I'll tell you this about Jack. You know, when I first met Jack, actually, let me rewind, because through Kobe Bryant spoke 5 languages.
Yeah, dude.
He's a different guy.
Yeah.
And I'm sure people had different opinions of Kobe as they met him, because he's a different guy.
Yeah.
But because I grew up following Kobe and these types of athletes, I'm able to recognize athletes when I see them that aren't going to be like Kobe Bryant, but have that thing about them.
Yeah.
You know, when you know they have
That's
that
such a real thing.
They have that ability to be great. I knew at 18 years old, Jack Hughes, if you go back and look at any of the interviews when everybody was ripping him, talking and saying that he's a bust, all this, I said, Jack Hughes is going to be a superstar in this league, so it doesn't even matter. Doesn't even matter. The first training camp, I'm in training camp with Jack, and we had this drill where they put the tires on the ice. And they have tires, one on one hash mark, one on the other, on the circle. And the objective is to take the puck and skate it through the middle of the tires. The other guy's job is to stop you from doing that. So at my first training camp, I got one hand on my stick, I got one hand on Jack, and I'm literally picking him up, lifting him as I skate the puck through the tires. And then I skate it back through. And
thanks for playing, Jack.
hold on. But all that's saying is that I'm 12 years ahead in my development.
Yeah.
It wasn't about embarrassing. It wasn't about doing it. Actually, for me, I wasn't even thinking about embarrassing him. I was competing, but I wanted to see how he competed.
Yeah.
I wanted to see where his drive was, whether he was going to quit, whether he's going to give up, be discouraged. No, that guy does not get enough credit for his compete and his drive and his will.
I love that.
Forget his skill.
Yeah.
Forget his skill. His compete, his will, and his drive to want to be great is why he's going to be great. He goes home in the summer and gets better. People, Jack's cocky, he's arrogant. You don't know him.
Yeah. God.
You don't know him. You don't know him. And you don't know what greatness is. You don't know what greatness is, And I think when I met Jack, he was just so young. He was like a baby. Right. I felt like I could
really
put him in
was,
my arms
dude. Yeah.
and cradle him like a baby. But all I thought about was his parents. And, what it would be like as parents to watch your 18-year-old son, go and live in the tri-state area and to be a professional hockey player, living on his own and doing, so I always looked at Jack like a little brother and wanted to see him, get better. And, I remember the second half when I left. I'm a big team dinners guy. Big team dinners, big boys out, night out.
Yeah.
Let's get the boys going. Let's keep the guys together. And I'll never forget when Jack and Nico finally said, "Hey, dude, we're good now. Like, thank you for showing us how to do this, but you just need to show up now. You don't have to be organized." And it was to see them grow as a young core group. I am so fucking proud of those guys.
Yeah.
I am so proud of them because they've come a long way. There were some hard days, man, in New Jersey with that team.
Yep.
Like some tough days, some tough losses, and they deserve it, and it starts with Jack and Nico.
Such
it
a
starts
special
with
moment.
those two guys.
God.
They're just great, and seeing Luke Hughes come in. But Jack is a superstar. He's already a superstar, and I don't care what anybody says. I'm going to talk about this on the air. I'm not, I haven't said it yet because I'm done work, but this is an MVP season for him. Dude, he should have been an MVP candidate. He wasn't. That's okay. But I'll be the guy at the end of his career when he's got 3 MVPs. I'm going to say, well, he's got an asterisk there because he should have had an MVP candidate year. He should have been up for it as well. Now, I'm not taking anything away from the guys that were up for it.
No, but you're right.
They had great seasons. But I'm sorry, his team hasn't been in the playoffs for 4 years.
Yep.
They ain't making the playoffs without him. And then they beat the Rangers in the first round. And he was nasty.
Nasty.
Dude. And everyone picked them to not sniff the playoffs.
He was tap dancing all down Broadway through Soho. You guys already know the script. I don't need to revisit it.
Yeah.
He was nasty. So for me, he had an MVP season, and that's the standard for him now.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So true.
Added pressure there. So let's talk about some more greatness. We're going to the draft in a couple weeks, whenever that is.
Yep.
So Bedard obviously going to go first. Well, presumably going to go first to the Hawks.
Disgusting.
What kind of pressure is he facing being the most hyped guy since McDavid?
And you can speak to, like you talked about with Montreal, that is a market that the fans live and die for that team and they know their hockey. I feel like Chicago fits in that too. What do you think he can expect?
Well, people need to stop talking about him skating like McDavid. He don't skate like McDavid.
Yeah.
He ain't that player. He's not. They're different players. Okay? And people need to stop comparing all these new young guys to new young guys that come in. Like, why don't we take the time and do the work and evaluate actually who Connor Bedard is? He's built like Sidney Crosby. He has the lower body, that lower half. He's only 18. What are his legs going to look like when he's 23? He has that lower body strength, in my opinion, which is going to make him a dangerous man. Mm-hmm. Because he is your prototypical, if you could build a hockey player as a forward today, you want to build him like Connor Bedard. Here's why. Long reach. He's got that toe curve, so he's not playing with one of those straight curves. What does that allow you to do? It allows you to have a shot. Everybody in the NHL now, if you ain't got a toe curve, you don't have a shot.
Right. God.
Right? So even I switched to a toe curve my last year in the
Did you
league.
really? Wow.
Yes, I did. I played with a heel curve my whole life, and I finally switched. What he can do with that tool in his hand makes him superbly elite. But then you got to couple that with his strength, his explosiveness. So he's got the hands, right? He can do things like McDavid and those guys do. I'm not going to evaluate it. There's guys that play in the NHL, and this kid hasn't played in the NHL yet. So I'm not saying he's got better hands than certain guys, but his hands are elite. His shot is elite. His strength is elite for his age. His skating is superb. So he's got all those tools, and he thinks and sees the game. I think the game and the transition for him is going to be a lot easier than people think. I wouldn't be surprised if that kid's got 30-plus goals next year.
Really? Wow, really?
Would not surprise me.
You're not fazed by his height at all.
Well, his shot.
Yeah.
His shot's unbelievable, and his strength on the puck. He's strong on the puck for 18 years old. Now, don't get me wrong. He's going to go through growing pains. Everybody does. But this he's box office. There's no question. He's going to be nasty. Yeah. He's going to be good. That shot's ridiculous.
It's crazy. The release, dude.
His snap and drag.
Yeah.
But what I like about his game is his strength. When I talk about his lower body strength, people don't understand. When you're playing, it allows you to play. Crosby can play with anybody.
Right.
Because of the way his build and his game. So when I see players, McDavid is outstanding, but you got to know how to play with Connor McDavid.
Yeah.
Because he plays at a pace that's higher than everybody else. Now, that's not Connor McDavid's fault. That's how great he is. But Connor Bedard, I feel like everybody can play with that guy.
That's a really cool piece of analysis, right? That you have to adjust to McDavid, whereas Bedard is like, no, I'll make you fit in with me.
Bedard can be a setup guy.
Yeah.
He can be a goal scorer.
Yep.
He can be a facilitator. Like, he can do it all. So I've watched him, and he's a big game guy.
Yes.
When the lights come on, he turns it on. And he gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And it seems that he's just an unbelievable kid. His family seems great. No, it's just the league is on the up and up.
Yeah.
So, I mean, having a guy like that, and I think Chicago's the perfect place for him. Chicago needs it. It's a big market for the league. I know that with Patrick Kane and Jonathan Toews moving on, it's time for somebody else to step in there. They'll build that team around him. And, we still love to go to Chicago.
Yeah.
We got to see a good team on the ice there. And I think he'll be the guy to get the ball moving in the right direction.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
All right, well, before we move you on to the final segment, I do want to talk about the fashion.
We got to ask.
Because you are the guy. You still are the guy.
Am I the guy?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You are still the guy. Like I said, we saw you in the suite last
and,
night.
I said you were on the NHL cover. You have another cover, the Sports Illustrated Fashionable 50 cover. You also hit that. So don't forget.
These are huge milestones.
Don't forget.
So with you leaving the league, you had to, you have to pass the crown, the title on someone else. I know you got your own hat guy, you got your own shoe guy. I mean, like
everything.
It's unreal.
Dialed in.
Can you give, as you have to be, dude, can you give me who you think maybe the top 3 or 5 guys in the league are right now with style? Now that you're gone.
Yep. I'm going to say Austin Matthews is in that list.
Even you like the mustache?
I mean, I'm not a big mustache guy, but it's a script. It's a script.
Yeah, sure.
He runs with the script,
so
it's a script.
Yep.
It's to the point now where if he shaves it, he looks weird. When I look at old interviews with him and I see him without the stash, it looks odd. So,
I would have to give Austin Matthews that because right around the time when he got into the league, he was one of the guys that wanted to push the boundaries, who had the confidence to do that. So I would have to say him for sure. If I'm thinking of another guy who's well dressed, I mean, he's not in the league anymore, but Henrik Lundqvist is well dressed.
Class.
Takes my breath away on TV.
Henrik Lundqvist, when it comes to suits,
Yep.
You'd be hard pressed to find a guy who looks better in a suit than Hank does.
Yep.
And he's been doing it a long time. He gets it. The Europeans get it.
Yep.
But it's hard not to get it right living in New York. Like, if you're Henrik Lundqvist in New York and don't get it right, there's a bigger issue.
Yes, we have a serious problem.
Like, you know what I mean? You're going to get it right. So I would have to say him. But players in the league, wow, man.
What about Pasta?
Pasta's great.
Pasta shows up.
Pasta's great.
Yeah.
Thank you for putting him out. Definitely. Pasta's out there. He's in the top 2 or 3 guys for sure.
Yep.
He's there. I'm trying to think of Right now, there's a lot of guys that dress well, but I'm trying to think of a guy who stands out to me, who really puts on.
One for me his lettuce game is interesting, but I think Line shows up every now and then.
Line-A's great.
And he's
does.
good with the hat game. Too.
Line-A's
That's what I was
great.
saying. Hat game is-
Line-A's great for sure. And there's one other guy that I'm missing. Hang on. I'm trying to think. I'm thinking of all the teams now.
Yeah. There's a couple in my head too that I'm like, fuck, they're always showing up in something.
And I like that it's happening more. You see, I think we were talking to Dutchie maybe about different teams' dress codes, what they allow you to do. But you see the NBA guys walking into the arena, and it's like, they,
Who's well dressed? Tom Wilson's well dressed too.
Totally.
Whoa, good
Tom
one,
Wilson's well dressed. You see, I say that because Willie's a good looking guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
You'd be hard pressed to find a female that doesn't think he's handsome. Willie's cut out of stone, number one.
Yep.
One of the nicest guys. Great hockey player. I know he's married now, beautiful wife. Dresses very, very well.
Yeah.
And he's always dressed well, as far as I've seen.
Fills out the suit too.
Yeah.
Like you
Yes,
said, guys
it's
make-
everything.
Yeah.
It's how he looks in a
Yeah.
suit. So, Willie, if you're watching, that's a tee up.
That's a tee
That's
up.
true.
Okay,
That's true.
so now, based on looks alone,
Yeah.
can I get the definitive PK Subban top 5 NHL jerseys?
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm biased.
The
I'm gonna go
cleanest
with
drip,
the Habs first.
You have to,
That's-
dude. And you're not even
Montreal
wrong, by the way.
Canadiens.
Anyone
Yeah.
who has a problem with that is a moron.
Montreal
It's-
first,
yeah.
Chicago second.
Okay.
Really though, it's like Chicago, Montreal, or 1-1. Like
Okay.
Chicago's is nasty.
Oh, it's so good.
So
nasty jersey. I'm gonna go with that. You gotta go with the Bruins.
Okay.
The classic Bees. You gotta go with the Bees. I gotta show some love to them. And another jersey that I like, I'm gonna step outside the original six. And I'm gonna go with Buffalo.
Wow, sick one. The
Buffalo's got
the
it.
ones
Bumps
right
me
now,
up
right?
so
Like the
much.
blue. Yeah.
Buffalo's got great jerseys.
Yep.
They're
You know,
clean.
Listen,
Clean jerseys.
Rangers are great too.
Yep.
You can't go wrong with the rags. But if it's me, that original Buffalo jersey,
Yes, dude. Oh my god, that
Incredible.
pumps me up so much. I agree.
nasty.
Nasty.
So nasty.
And so
Nasty.
is the Rangers 5 or you have a different 5?
Listen, you can't go wrong with the original six.
I know.
So you could feel like I could go
Fire.
Detroit too.
Yeah. Toronto
Like,
Fire.
you
Yeah.
could go Toronto, but if I'm gonna pick out of the original six, I'm going Chicago, Montreal out of the original six.
Yep.
I'll go Boston
Bees.
2. I'll go Boston
Yep.
2. I'm going to go Buffalo. And if I'm going to give you one more, I'll go with, you know what? Man. Anaheim.
Yes. Yes.
Original
PK.
Ducks. Quack.
Okay, wait.
I
Dude,
love them.
wait, original Ducks.
Yes.
Wait.
Dude, you wear that anywhere.
The purple ducks.
You cut the sleeves off that.
Okay, that
Yes.
I'm cool with.
I
That
love
am
that
cool
jersey
with.
so much.
That jersey is so sick. I
Nasty.
thought you meant current ducks, and I was like, no way. But OG
Nasty.
ducks, 100%.
Drip, dude. Oh, okay. There's the list, everybody.
By the way, my production company's called Ugly Duck.
Is it?
Yep. I was
Sick.
a big Ducks fan too.
I
but
fucking love
yeah,
that.
Love
That's
Mighty
awesome.
Ducks.
All right, we're gonna get personal with you here and close you out. This is a segment we do with everyone. It's called Pass, Shoot, Score.
Okay.
Basically, the rules are it's just a ranking system. So
Okay.
pass, great. We like snapping the puck around. Maybe not our favorite. Shoot, got to get pucks on net. That's the second best. And then score, lighting the lamp is obviously the best.
Okay.
So basically, pass, shoot, score in your reverse rankings from what you like the most. We're going to start you off with your Halloween costumes.
Okay.
So pass, shoot, score, your Prince costume, your MJ Thriller costume, and your recent Pop Smoke costume.
I'd pass the Prince one.
Okay?
Really? Wow,
Yeah.
okay.
That was fire, though.
It was.
It was incredible.
Shoot MJ. Pop Smoke score.
Wow.
The Pop Smoke one was insane.
Dude, the
cooked,
hair,
dude.
the hair,
That cooked.
the hair was
Dude,
fucking
Dude, I
perfect.
almost got robbed, like wearing those chains. Everybody thought the chains were real, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like sitting in a bar, and the dude's like, "Hey," like, and the guy's like, "Dude, that's PK, man." And he's like, and the guy's like standing over me, looking at my chains, like, and I'm like, "Dude, they're fake." Go down to Canal Street. This is $20.
Yeah.
I'll get you one, dude.
I feel like the MJ one has become so iconic. Like
The
every
MJ
time,
one, whoa, because I have the actual jacket.
It's perfect.
That's
dude.
right.
You need the
Yeah.
real jacket.
Yeah.
Once you get the real jacket, it's easy to do everything else. So his jacket, it's made by a company called Metal. the real, like the one that he wore in the music video. So I got the same jacket, my size.
Dude, and every Halloween, the NHL, goes down memory lane, and that's like the first picture they always post. So I was certain that was going to be your score, but I was like, Pop Smoke's
But you
better.
say it's easy
Pop
minus
Smoke
the
is
jacket.
so
It's not that easy. Who's doing that makeup?
Well, I found a makeup. You know what? Every Halloween, too, it's always last minute.
Yes, dude.
Believe it or not, all my costumes are last minute.
Dude, I
find a makeup artist like at like my Halloween parties at like Halloween party's gonna start at 10 o'clock, guys. I'm finding like a makeup artist after she's been working all day for like 18 hours, and I'm like, please, can you just do this? I'll give you, and I end up paying like $500 extra. Like she's like, oh, it'll be like it's usually $100, but like honestly, I can't come. It's gonna be an hour drive. I'm like, I'll give you $500 to do this. I can't show up with a horse. Shit.
I've got the Thriller jacket. I need the makeup.
I do a movie character costume every single year, and I go so intense with it. I'm the same way. Like if I figure it out, and then I need to throw
you
it
like
together.
Halloween? You're a Halloween guy.
Yeah, it's the best. But I'll go to extensive lengths. Like if I figure out what I want to do, and then a piece for the costume that I need is $500, I'm like, I have to do it. Otherwise, I can't deliver. I gotta deliver. Yeah. That's all it's about.
And it's always an entrance for me. Actually, it's a quick story. When I signed my contract with Montreal, the first thing I did that season was I rented out. I don't know if anybody knows Fly Gin.
Oh yeah, we've had a couple nights.
I rented it out. I rented out the whole Fly Gin. Catered food, all from Fly Gin, and had the wives' girlfriends come. We had a Halloween party. Unreal.
Sick night, dude.
Unreal.
Night.
What were you dressed as that night?
I was Michael Jackson.
That was
the
that
Michael
night?
Jackson one.
That was that night?
That was the Michael Jackson one.
Oh
I
my
remember
God.
that because I was wearing loafers, and Carey Price could not believe. And Pricey, if you're listening, if you're on the record, you better get on the record on this too. I don't want to hear any bull. Dude, he saw me breaking it down on the dance floor. He couldn't believe how good my dance moves were to Michael.
In loafers.
I love that.
In crazy loafers. I had the side slide. I was doing the whole dance.
Someone's got to have cell phone footage of that. We got to dig that up.
Yep.
Incredible. Okay, here's your next one. Pass, shoot, score, foods. Sushi at Park Restaurant in Montreal. Jerk chicken from Mr. Jerk in Toronto. Or a slice of pizza at Queen Street Pizza at 2 a.m. after a 2 a.m. training session with your dad at Nathan Phillips Square.
Pass on everything, score on the jerk chicken, dude. You mentioned jerk chicken. Take everything. It doesn't even matter, dude. You guys can pick the rest. Jerk chicken all day. Mr. Jerk?
Yeah.
Dude. Dude, I just was in Toronto. I got a whole chicken from there. I got a whole chicken right by the airport.
Yep.
When I fly. And people that are on the same flights as me, listen, I usually fly. I'm flying business or first class. Yeah. I'm sitting up there. Dude, I pull out this styrofoam. Dude, it's got a whole jerk chicken in it. I got the hot sauce. And people come up to me, not asking for pictures.
Yeah.
Hey, PK, that is the best smelling chicken I've ever had. Dude, you know the worst thing to be on as a flight is somebody eating food.
Yeah, and you're like, oh my God.
Terrible,
yeah.
Dude, I've never seen people. I've actually given people pieces of the chicken.
The pilot's coming out like, yo, dog, what is that?
And I don't even know. Like, can I get a piece of that? People love jerk chicken. Jerk chicken's the best.
Oh,
You make your own, don't you?
What's that?
You make your own sometimes, don't you?
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
my dad, my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, we jerk it all the time.
Love that.
You got to jerk it with the family.
And
It's
then
fantastic.
One food follow-up, because, listen, I know you're a big poutine guy, and we are big poutine guys. The whole family's jerking it.
Extra gravy on the poutine.
Extra gravy. Extra gravy.
Have to.
So you never say, and I don't know if you're going to say it today, but what is your Montreal spot? I know you have a spot for poutine in Montreal.
Yeah, there's a couple places that I went to. I mean, man, listen, I told you, I was like a chubbier kid, man.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't eat a whole lot of poutine. Like, there was a couple spots. Actually, there was a place that I used to go to. It's no longer there. M Burger. It was across from where I used to live. I used to live at the Rock Fleury off of Maisonneuve in downtown Montreal, and it was right across the street. And they had the best burgers there, and I would always go, and they would make poutine for me. And they would do it, but I would never do it with everything on it. I like traditional poutine.
Oh, 100%, dude.
Yeah, like I
gravy.
like it like with the cheese, just gravy, extra gravy though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's all the extra gravy, no?
Obviously.
Crazy grizzy.
If the gravy's not melting the shit out of the cheese,
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
disaster. So you got to go extra gravy, 100%.
Incredible.
All right, your last one, going movies. Pass, shoot, score. Happy Gilmore, Gladiator, or, and this one's very, very personal to me, Bobby Orr, My Game. One of the greatest movies of all time.
Dude, you picked like the top 5. First of all, Bobby Orr, the best of Bobby Orr tape.
Yeah.
Is that the same one you're talking about?
Yes, okay. So this is why it's personal to me. Your dad gave you that movie to watch just to say defensemen can have fun too?
Dude, I watched that movie over 100 times.
It burned a hole. It burned a hole in our
dad
VCR.
Had that VCR, that
VHS, I think it's
tape,
called, yeah.
And I watched it a million times because I was like, D-men can fucking rush the puck and have a good time as
Dude,
well.
literally the whole thought process of when you pick up the puck, go and score a goal.
Yep.
Yes,
That's how Bobby Orr played.
exactly.
And he's the GOAT. This is what I love about hockey. The two greatest players to ever play the game, aside from Gordie Howe and some of the older guys and Jean Beliveau, the legends.
Yes.
You know, Wayne Gretzky and Bobby Orr are the nicest human beings
Everybody
that you
says
could
that.
meet.
Dude, McAvoy.
They
said
are
that to
so
us.
nice. They are such great ambassadors for the game. Like, so, now that I'm working in media and I'm doing things for the league, these are the guys that I learned from.
Yep.
They set the table and the example for everyone. Executively, for the players, for the fans. So, it's just Bobby Orr to me is like, come on.
Yeah.
I saw him in Boston at the Classic, at the Heritage Classic.
He shot the opening pitch.
And
Yeah.
it's like he's got the biggest smile. His nephew is one hell of a player, by the way. His nephew's my nephew's age, and he's unbelievable. So Bobby's great. But, okay, so you got Gladiator, Happy Gilmore. First of all, Sully, how many times have I watched Happy Gilmore with you? How many times?
1,000. I heard 1,000. I heard
Sully,
1,000.
would you want to watch Happy? Like, you'll watch it now. It's been a while now.
The glue in the fingers back.
the first time?
Dude, I can't tell you. Doing our
Happy
research-
Gilmore. No, I gotta be honest. If I open my laptop, if I go get my laptop right now, my iPad right now, in my Netflix, it's downloaded, loaded, ready to go. It's always there.
Yep.
Because I know what I'm getting with that movie.
Of course.
I love Adam Sandler. I think he's unbelievable. It's one of my top 5 movies of all time.
Absolutely.
But Gladiator's in my top 2. Gladiator, The Usual Suspects, those 2 movies are in my top 2.
Usual Suspects.
I used to watch
Fire.
the Gladiator fight scenes before games in like junior.
Whoa, really? That is
Fuck yeah,
sick.
dude. Are you not entertained?
Yeah.
Dude, it was like, the graphics, when you watch that movie and you look at the year it was made, it still looks unbelievable.
PK, oh my, all right, okay. So in doing this research, I could not have felt more connected to you because those 2 movies, Happy Gilmore and Gladiator, are in my top 10 of all time. And I always say, Gladiator came out in 2000. If you put that movie in theaters right now, no one would blink an eye. They'd be like, this movie's brand new.
Yes.
It looks that fucking good still.
100%. So we got Gladiator, Happy Gilmore, and
Best of Bobby Orr.
Best of Bobby Orr. Well, score for Bobby Orr. I mean, let's keep it
Fucking love
consistent.
that, dude.
Now you're in a real Sophie's Choice.
Yeah, because you're going to have to pass either Gladiator or Happy Gilmore.
I'll pass on Happy Gilmore. I've seen it enough.
Yeah, it's fair.
I've seen it enough. Adam Sandler's not going to take any disrespect to that because if I have to dig it back up again,
we'll dig it back
I'll
up.
bury the hatchet and dig it right back up. And Sully knows he's going to watch it at least another 1,000 times for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And then shoot for Gladiator.
Yep. What rounds out your top 5? You got Gladiator, Usual Suspects, Happy Gilmore,
yeah,
and
true.
2 other ones that you love.
Yes, White Chicks.
Yeah.
Stop it.
1,000%. Tell me you guys aren't down for that. Tell me you're not right now.
I would literally throw it on
it
right
is
now.
like-
I would literally
It's
throw it on
not.
right now. I would throw it on
Not
right
in
now.
your top 5.
Not in my top 5, but I would throw it on right now and watch the whole
And you
thing.
know what White Chicks falls in the category for me of? If you pop on the TV and it's on TV, I'm like, yeah, I'll watch White Chicks.
White
yeah.
Chicks is unbelievable.
It's funny. It's funny.
Unbelievable movie. Top 5. Hang on.
This might be the first time Gladiator, Happy Gilmore, and White Chicks have ever been said in the same discussion.
Dude, 40-Year-Old Virgin's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
That one
So
I'm
you're
on
a
board
comedy
with.
guy. You're a big comedy guy.
40-Year-Old, yeah, The Breakup's good too, though.
Love the breakup.
I'm a Vince Vaughn guy.
Me too.
Wedding Crashers, honorable mentions, couple honorable mentions.
Wedding Crashers is my favorite
Wedding
comedy.
Crashers is good. You guys probably don't know this. You know 2 can play that game?
Yeah.
Oh,
Have you
Yeah,
seen that
yeah.
movie? Unbelievable
great
movie.
snipe. Dude.
I might have watched that one more than Happy Gilmore.
Wow.
Hilarious. That one is there. It just depends on what you want genre-wise. Like, if you notice the genres that I'm kind of getting into, but like Gladiator is like probably one on the list.
That's
if
one
I'm
of
really
one.
being honest.
Yeah.
Gladiator's probably one on the list. So that would be kind of the top picks. I'm trying to think if I'm missing anything.
It's a fantastic
That's
list.
a good list, dude.
I love The Patriot. Like
Me
The
too,
Patriot.
dude. That's Gladiator
Crazy
vibes.
movie.
Yeah.
We were watching
Patriot's
clips
good.
of that movie today.
Another
So
movie.
crazy.
It's a little bit soft, but Ever After with Drew. Barrymore.
Yeah.
Great movie. Great movie. 10 Things I Hate About You. I'm an old school guy. She's All That.
Yeah.
Great movie. I'm a movie guy, dude.
Yeah,
Eyes
this is
clearly,
fucking
which
fantastic.
pumps me up.
Hall Pass.
Hall Pass.
Coakley.
That's great.
Coakley.
Yeah.
That's our boy, dude.
Yeah.
Coakley kid.
Yeah.
Yep.
She's a stoatfish, dude.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Casey Coakley.
All right, PK, we won't take up any more of your time.
Yeah,
but-
dude, I got to hit the beach.
Gotta get to the beach.
Crazy
Well, we
tan.
waited
gotta
out
get
the
a
rain.
tan
It was
going
perfect,
on.
actually.
Yeah, we waited out for the rain. But, dude, this has been an absolute blast, man. Can't thank you enough for coming on.
Hey, Friday beers. There might be some more work in the future for us
Trust
here,
me.
boys.
Get you in the
all right?
sketch game.
We know.
All
We've got a
right,
lot of
teasing it
plans.
out to the Subaniacs watching
Yeah.
and the newcomers.
Yeah.
Lock in, load, and beers are on Friday.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Go Panthers.
Well, we
Yeah.
need it.
Panthers
need
in
it
6.
tomorrow. Need it tomorrow. Maybe 7.
Nope, Panthers in 6.
Sticking
I'm saying
to it.
6. I'm sticking to it, but
Sticking
I got
to
to
it.
go to the games.
Yep.
If they win tomorrow, I got to go to Vegas.
Oh, you got to go to every. Yeah,
Yep.
100%.
Yep. So you guys DM me if they win. I'll be in Vegas. Hit me up.
There we go. All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, boys. Thanks.